What a film this one
It's
is.
the first entry into Universal's dark universe. It's
That's right.
Frankenstein meets the Wolfman.
What? Frankenstein and the Wolfman in one movie? What is this? Some kind of dark universe?
What is this, a crossover episode?
Yeah, I mean, I think for regardless of this movie's quality, which I guess we'll get into, I do think this movie is significant and that it is taking characters from separate movies and having them crossover, which right, Universal did a bunch of times. This is the first one of their what are they called, like Monster Mash movies, Monster Fest movies. I forget what they called them at the time.
Hmm.
But it is like that thing is like so ubiquitous now, right? I mean, Marvel really kind of broke the seal on it, and they're just like, okay, now every movie has to be like 8 movies, and all of the characters cross over,
Right.
which then Universal tried to do again, following that lead, and, and people were immediately like, no, this sucks.
You're
We
talking
don't
like
want to see.
circa 2015, right?
Yeah, well, 2017 with the Tom Cruise Mummy movie, which is pretty terrible, and it I mean, that movie feels like the whole movie is like a trailer, like it only exists to like cross over with other things, and it's just boring and not good. This movie feels like it's kind of just like, why not?
Yeah, yeah,
We got all
yeah.
these monsters, why not? And there is even though I don't think it really quite makes good on the premise of Frankenstein meeting the Wolfman. It's also funny
Right.
that's not like versus the Wolfman. It's just they meet, which again is kind of the movie. It's like
They,
yeah, technically they meet.
they become fast friends.
So like the first, I would say almost like half of this movie is just the Wolfman 2. It's
Yeah.
just a pretty much straightforward sequel to the
I
Wolfman.
mean, there was a Wolfman movie in between the Wolfman and this, but
Wait, what?
yes.
Which one was that?
I think so. It was like let me double check on
Because
that.
there were. I was trying to figure out like the timeline because we did skip some Universal monster movies, and there were 2 Frankenstein movies between Bride and this.
Oh, you know what? That's right. Sorry. I'm thinking about the intermediate Frankenstein movies. Oh, yes.
There were like multiple Frankenstein movies ahead, but then right, this sort of starts as just a sequel to the Wolfman. He dies at the end of the Wolfman, but then in this, it's sort of like, well, if the moon hits him when he's dead, he comes back alive.
Well, there's some grave robbers come and they take the Wolf's Bane out of his grave,
Mm,
out of his casket, and that is what wakes him back up again, or it stops him from. It's the force field that stops him from coming back alive again. And so he wakes back up and then he continues to be a werewolf. And then he goes, oh no, not this again. And like, I guess I can't die. And so this movie is just like the main plot of this movie is the Wolfman going like, I need to figure out how to die. Like, I'm going to go on a
yeah,
quest to kill myself, which is a
yeah,
wild hook for a movie.
it really is. But then, like halfway through, there is a level of kind of like gut excitement I get when it's just like it's been this Wolfman movie, and then he's like, right, he meets up with this Roma woman who I think might have been in the first Wolfman
Yeah,
movie.
she's the same
Right.
person
It's
from
like
the first
it's
one.
right. It's the mother of Bela Lugosi's character. Bela Lugosi playing in that movie the werewolf who bites Larry Talbot. Bela Lugosi's also in this movie playing the Frankenstein monster, which I think Lon Chaney Jr. played the Frankenstein monster in the previous one to this, but then
Yeah.
they were like, "Well, you can't be both." And Dracula's not in this one, so Bela Lugosi was free to play a different character, I guess.
Yeah,
Um,
and Frankenstein originally talked in this one like he does in Bride of Frankenstein, but people in test screenings, people laughed at Bela Lugosi's voice,
right.
and so they cut it out.
So now, right, it's like the monster is back to just grunting.
Yeah.
I will say, like, as I think Bela Lugosi is very good in the 1931 Dracula movie, which I don't think is very. I don't think that movie is very good, but I think Bela Lugosi is very good in it. He's very bad as the Frankenstein monster in this. I think
Yeah.
he's very, very bad at it. I don't think they should have cast him.
I this is interesting too in a way because I guess we haven't seen a Lon Chaney Frankenstein, but it's interesting how they have so like boiled down the essence visually of what Frankenstein's monster in parentheses
Hmm.
what the monster is that it's just like you can slap that costume on
It can
anybody.
kinda be anybody, right?
Right.
Like, you put a square head and, like, a dark suit on him and, like, the bolts and everything, and it's like, "Good, done.
Yeah,
No more work needed."
yeah, and so it's like Frankenstein has stopped being just the original guy,
Boris
uh,
Karloff?
Boris Karloff, right? Like it was like so associated with him, but they've like taken they've turned him into like the iconic like aspects that which I
Yeah,
think is kind of interesting. Like only this many years later, it's like he's so recognizable in like those little traits that you can. But yeah, but also like Bela Lugosi's head is such a different shape from Boris Karloff's head that I think
right,
it kind of
yeah.
like really ruins it.
Yeah, no, he's just kinda stumbling around, he's got his arms out, he's kinda it feels like he's doing an impression
Exactly.
of Frankenstein.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Impression is the word. I think that's sort of what I meant.
It's
Is
like Bela Lugosi in a, like, Halloween costume, going, "Arr, rawr," and I'm like, "No, no, sir, I don't buy any of this."
there's a part where Lon Chaney, as the Wolfman, is asking where Frankenstein's records are kept, and like, and then the monster go is without speaking, but he's like, "Grr, this where records kept."
Yeah, I don't think this movie is very good, but I enjoyed myself as best I could, I think.
Yeah, this movie's camp, and it's not like I. The dialogue
Yeah, but it's
is
not like good camp like Bride of Frankenstein is.
it's not intentional camp like Bride of Frankenstein is. I
Mm.
think that's the difference.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
that this I don't think this is a good movie, but I think that it is a great watch as a B movie. Like this is a really like solid B movie where like the acting is really bad, the script is really bad, like dumb stuff is happening, but you're just like I'm having fun. Like, the
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, I
it's
don't know. The I think the bar was set so high with, like, Bride of Frankenstein as for, like, these Universal monster movies that, like that one's super fun also, but it's also just a genuinely good movie, and so now when I'm
yeah.
watching the other ones, I'm just kind of like, "Oh, well, these really have kinda lost a lot of their, luster to me." I mean, this movie is just very it's so sweaty. It's so just like, Wolfman, what he died, what how are we gonna bring him back? I don't know, the fucking moonlight hits him and he wakes up again. It's like it feels like it was written the day before they
Yeah.
started filming.
That's why it feels like a B movie. It feels like I'm
Right.
like
And it's like I think once you get into that rhythm watching
yeah,
it, it's a lot more enjoyable because it's there's also things right like the movie starts in Cardiff in Wales is where Larry Talbot wakes up like at the hospital. And then he proceeds to get on like a horse-drawn cart and travel to Germany question mark like the Bavarian Alps.
right.
But like did he take that across the English Channel? What happened there? My personal headcanon is that there is actually a weird Bavarian enclave in Wales somewhere,
Oh, that'd be
and
good.
that's where Frankenstein's old laboratory is. Also, having skipped two of the Frankenstein movies that are also, I think, pretty sweaty and like ridiculous, it's funny that there is well, I think the original Dr. Frankenstein's granddaughter in this movie, which really starts to question how much time has passed between that movie and
Right.
this one. Because I think there's like Son of Frankenstein is one of the movies, does not appear in this one. Then there's Ghost of Frankenstein. That's the one with Lon Chaney playing the monster. I don't know if there's a lot of like crossover characters between these, but it's like the Frankenstein family tree at this point is just like whatever actor we have, like it's like Frankenstein's like third cousin's nephew is like, you're the new Dr. Frankenstein. Get over here. You're the Frankenstein for this movie. There's the like kindly doctor who's like at first is, trying to, he's like shooing the cops out of Larry Talbot's room. It's like, give him space. I need to help this man. And then halfway through, Larry Talbot is like, no, I need to kill myself. I'm a monster. And he's like, well, I can help you with that.
But also, and then there's a later point where because he's a doctor,
Goes mad with power immediately.
yeah, it's
Like,
like
as soon as he like touches a Tesla coil, he's like, the power in my hands.
Yeah, it seems like this movie is saying that there's because okay, this is like kind of the dumbest, weakest part of this plot is that uh the reason why he like Wolfman thinks that Dr. Frankenstein's notes will be the way to learn how to kill himself
Mhm.
is because Frankenstein learned the secret of life and death. And like
Right,
which
which
is
is
such a
resurrecting dead people,
right, it's like
not
such
how to kill a wolfman.
it's such a vague thing, but it's just like, okay, like he tapped into some kind of like secret knowledge or whatever. And then this movie is saying like once you tap into that knowledge, you basically just become Frankenstein. Like you act like
Right,
him because the
yeah.
medical doctor did once he saw the secret of life and death, quote unquote.
The knowledge is simply too powerful. Right, and then there's, like, the weird thing where he's trying to, like, suck the life energy out of the Wolfman and put it into the Frankenstein monster or something, maybe?
It's just so much bullshit. Like that's that's why
It's a bunch of science gobbledygook bullshit. It's not even science, it's just, like, made up monster movie science, right? It's just, like, there's a single Tesla coil and, like, a control panel, and they're just like, "Science stuff!" And then both the monsters break out of their, like, slabs that they're on, and they have a little fight, and then a dam explodes, and then the movie ends. Like, they get flooded, and then there's immediately the end title card over, like, the flood destroying the castle they're in,
yeah,
which I
I
thought
mean
was very funny, that it ends so abruptly.
that's the thing. Like I it's just like perfect mystery science theater fodder. This movie, like
Yeah,
I
yeah, for
really.
sure.
I had a lot of fun with it on that basis. The line readings are so hammy. Like Dr. Frankenstein dead. it's and but like
Linguo.
and this like so much of like what's going on in this movie doesn't make sense, like the plot doesn't make sense, the mechanisms of things don't make sense, but you're just along for the ride. Like I think that like it also is like such a 180 from the original Frankenstein movie, which and Bride, which is basically like critiquing mob justice, right? It's like the monster was not so much of a monster. He didn't know what he was doing, and he's actually like a little cutie pie in the second one. But like it is mobs who
He
don't
just wants
under
to smoke a cigar.
it's mobs who kill him. It's you know, panicky people who don't understand things that aren't them that want to kill him. And don't understand, yeah, and like so he finds like solace with the blind guy and their marginalization. In this movie there's a whole big like we don't trust what they're doing up in that Frankenstein's manor, let's get a mob together over it, right? And so that's why the dam explodes, is because there's a guy who can't be talked down from his want to destroy anything that's different from him. So he blows up the dam, but he but be, the movie basically treats it as a triumph. It's like he did the right thing. Like this
Right.
movie is saying that mob justice is good actually. It it doesn't make any
This
sense.
movie is also right, like, the main plot of this movie is, like, a man trying to, like, perform an assisted suicide. So it's like I do feel like it's thematically, this movie is a mess. I also like the angry
Perform
mob thing.
assisted suicide by way of energy transfer.
Yes. How else are you gonna do it?
You need to
Um,
transfer out my life force so that I can die.
yeah. Which is also funny, like, that is not what Frankenstein's experiments are about in the other movies either. So, like, I don't know where he got those notes from. I like how it feels like almost as soon as Larry Talbot arrives in the village, wherever it is, there is a like preformed angry mob, like already there with torches, pretty much. Like they've been sitting around like waiting for more monsters to show up. There's like a whole like musical interlude also
That was weird.
that feels kind of strange. That feels like someone at Universal was just like, "Hey, this guy can sing. Put him in a movie." It's like, put him in that Frankenstein picture. Who cares? The movie feels like it was made at Universal, kind of as an afterthought, almost of just like these movies make money. We're gonna just churn out more monster movies, How
Yeah.
can we do something different? Like, put a Wolfman in it. Sure, he's available.
Turns out the first multiverse movie was a lazy cash in.
Who knew that the Dark Universe was actually always a bad idea?
I will say, like, this unrelated, but with Lon Chaney Jr. in this, he's so hateable in the first Wolfman movie. I
Right.
despise him in that. I think in this, he maybe because there's no
He's
women around, like he is he's a lot more sympathetic in this movie. I
it's
think that
true.
he
Yeah.
does, like, something that I was noticing is that, like, he plays haunted very well. Like,
Right.
he is really bummed out to be alive, and and he really just wishes to not exist anymore. And so he just has this, like, defeat to him that it does feel he sells it really well.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of that in the first Wolfman, and that's sort of like his entire performance in this one is like haunted and sort of just like I have no place in the world. I'm the only thing I'm ever going to do is hurt people. Which is like when the movie gets close to actually sort of like being about that, it's kind of interesting. I mean, my favorite parts of the movie are kind of towards the beginning when it is just kind of a straightforward like sequel to the Wolfman. I think there are some good like there's the bit when he's in the hospital bed and he sees the moonlight like creeping towards him like as the moon comes out from behind the clouds that I think is
Mhm.
really cool and well done. I'm like would have been nice to have something that cool in the first Wolfman movie. But then right, he wolfs out and it's just sort of like him like jumping around like on boxes on like a backlot street and it's like
Yeah,
no attempt is made at like tension or scares ever in this movie.
like, the Wolfman costume and the transformation look better in this movie than they did in the second movie, but they look better in this movie than they did in the first movie, but they're still not that good. I don't think the Wolfman looks interesting. Like, Frankenstein looks interesting, Dracula looks interesting, the Mummy looks interesting. Wolf Invisible Man looks interesting. Wolfman looks he it's his design is so boring to me. It's
I think he looks better in the first one because I think he's lit better in the first one. I think in the first one they do a lot of like dramatic lighting on him and he's kind of hidden in fog and shadows a bit more.
yeah.
And in this one it's more just like, here he is, Wolfman. And I think it really it emphasizes sort of the weaknesses in the design more, I think, in this one.
Hmm.
Even if like the makeup itself is maybe a little bit more polished in this one. I don't know. I think like the Mystery Science Theater thing is like that is the right approach to have with this one. Like it's this movie's very, very dumb.
Yeah.
And if you are on board with that, then it's fun.
I was surprisingly on board for it.
Yeah, I think I'm still just sort of like, like these movies can be good. You know, like when James Whale is making them, these movies are really good.
Uh-huh.
And so to for there to be like so many of them that feel like they're just kind of slapped together. I don't know, but like the sets in this, I think are very cool. There's like the big cemetery set in the beginning that looks great. There's a lot of cool, like very dramatic lighting in this. It's not really ever scary, but it has a lot of kind of gothic atmosphere that is fun,
Yeah.
I guess.
Oh, one more thing on the messy theming of this movie. I guess they're, like, updating the Germany to be, like, modern day or whatever.
Right.
And so the cop in Germany looks like a Nazi. And so there's a scene where, like, a guy that looks like a
That's
Nazi
why I
is
don't think it's supposed to be Germany.
maybe not, yeah. But he's there's a scene where he's like roughing up the Romani woman, and it's like, oh, they might not even be known like that there was like the
Right.
extent of like how real that was. But it feels pretty tasteless.
Yeah. And that is also like a weird thing, right? Because the first Frankenstein movie, or like the first couple, I think are supposed to be set in the Bavarian Alps, either in Germany or Switzerland. I know the book is set in Switzerland. I don't really think the movie is.
Hmm.
Also, like every character in
Neutral.
this, like all the villagers have English accents, even though they're wearing like lederhosen. Um, so it's like and then it's like they get there by cart, so it's like it's very vague. In my mind, I'm like, I really have no idea where this is supposed to take place. But it's also clearly supposed to be contemporary. It's like it's supposed to be the 1940s. But then it's like if they're in Europe, like mainland Europe, especially like near Germany, how would that work? And the movie just ignores all of it entirely, which is why I think it's still set in Wales. I think there's just this weird Bavarian like town that that it takes place in. That's the only way it makes any sense.
This movie's just this its whole MO is just like, don't think about it.
Yes, very much.
Reverse the polarity.
I wrote that down, reverse the polarity in my notes because there's a thing where it's like we need to connect like the positive life energy to the negative life energy. And then it's like, no, we gotta switch it. And I'm like, yeah, reverse the polarity. That'll work. That makes sense. Movies that were coming out at the same time, the like Jacques Tourneur, Val Lewton movies, the RKA horror movies in 1943 are so much better than the Universal ones. It's like
Mm.
it's mind-boggling. It's funny, like the RKA ones are like very cheap and like genuinely very spooky and have like really good scares in them. And the Universal ones are like super expensive. They're just like monsters like throwing foam bricks around. And it's like, they have their own charm, I suppose. I don't want to feel like I'm being too harsh.
I'm way more comfortable being harsh on the first Wolfman movie. This one, I have a lot of good times watching crappy 50s B movies, and this feels like one of those.
Much like the Werewolf in London movie, the like 1930s werewolf movie, it's like by being dumber, it ends up kind of being better because you're not like the writing in it that doesn't work as well doesn't stick out as much because you're like, it's silly. There's like a Tesla coil in the background. It's fine.